Alicia, give me your take. Was this a blue wave? Was this an obliteration of everything Trump stands for or not?
I think my colleague Cassie Dillon said it best when she said that this seemed more like a blue trickle. And I think the faces of a lot of the major cable news network anchors last night showed that they were really disappointed. I think that they expected more wins, specifically in the House side. I think that overall there are concerns for the GOP as a whole on the federal level and more specifically within those congressional districts, because Democrats were smart this time around. I know that we typically don't agree with them and don't often give them credit for that, but they campaigned wisely in places like my home state of Oklahoma, where they ran a very moderate Democrat that seemed likable, kind of Kennedy-esque, against a great sitting congressman who lost last night as an incumbent, Steve Russell, in the heart of Oklahoma City. I mean, Oklahoma is typically all red, and if you look at parts of the country in these congressional districts, Democrats played a strong ground game, and Republicans need to be aware for the future. But those stats that you gave are really interesting as well. President Trump did not lose as many seats in the House as previous presidents before him have in historic midterm elections.
Right, and I think it's really interesting, too, when you talk about some of the congressional races, maybe ones that weren't highlighted or spotlighted by a lot of news organizations leading up to the races. The Democrats did use a different strategy. They ran perhaps actual moderates. Now, I'm not sure that I believe that once Democrats get to the House of Representatives that they're allowed by party leadership to be true moderates, but we'll leave that conversation for a different day. One thing, though, we talk about the divide within the Democratic Party all the time, and a trend that I saw across the country. We saw it in Georgia, we saw it in Florida, we saw it in Texas. These Democratic rising stars, you know, the Beto O'Rourke's, the Andrew Gillums, that the Democrats are trying to make the new face of their party, all of those types of candidates lost their races.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines from Cocaine Mitch this morning when he had a press conference was, you know, he thinks that Chuck Schumer is going to have a problem with having attendance issues with his Democratic senators because, let's be honest, midterms are over and already people are talking presidential 2020, and we know there's a lot of sitting Democratic senators that are those 2020 hopefuls for their party. I think it is encouraging that we are able to kind of stamp out some of these leaders, but I think that they'll go on to get cushy jobs being liberal talking heads on mainstream news networks and getting funded by numerous PACs, anti-gun groups, and, you know, pro-abortion groups, all of those things across the country, and will keep their name out there long enough in case 2020 or 2024 rolls around. It could be expected. I mean, it would be totally normal if people like Beto still want to run.
Well,
want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.